Parliament Hill is made up of 3 blocks of historic buildings designed in the Gothic Revival style. They first opened in 1866 and include the House of Commons, Senate, committee rooms, and offices for parliamentarians. Centre Block closed in 2018 for a decade plus of repairs and restoration, but not before CPAC provided an exclusive look at this iconic symbol of Canadian democracy. Inside Centre Block showcased the architecture, the artwork, and the people at the heart of the building. Speaker Jeff Regan brought us into the daily planning for the House of Commons.
So what do we have this morning?
So we're starting with routine proceedings this morning.
And he showed the exact spot where Winston Churchill delivered that famous scowl in 1941.
And Karsh wasn't getting what he wanted. So he reached out and he snatched the cigar from Churchill's mouth and he took that picture.
Inside the chamber, Regan detailed the majestic stained glass windows overhead, and below demonstrated an innovation put in place for a former speaker.
When Jean Sauvé was the speaker, she wasn't too tall. And in fact, she arranged something special to be installed so that she could be up a little higher when she was in the chair. And so we have this little elevator. So
In the only part of Centre Block to survive the Great Fire of 1916, Parliamentary Librarian Heather Link highlighted its 1,600 wooden carvings, including the Green Man.
And it depicts the face of a man surrounded by leaves. And that green man is a symbol that you see throughout Europe and indeed across the world. And it shows the union of humanity with the natural world.
Then we ventured underground to the Library of Parliament's rare books collection.
This is the oldest book in our collection, Les Singularités de la France Antarctique, and this was published in 1558. It's by André Thévet, and this is a travelogue of French explorers in the New World, and it includes the region of Canada.
We met Parliament's senior protocol officer.
This is obviously the sword that I wear with Her Majesty Elizabeth II, Queen of Canada, and other swords that have been worn by gentlemen ushers of the Black Rod through history.
This particular painting, for example, is called The Watch on the Rhine.
Senate Speaker George Fury explained that chamber's art commissioned after the First World War. Remembrance was also front and center in the Peace Tower's memorial chamber. From the material itself.
So the stone in the rest of the building is Canadian, but the stone inside the memorial chamber is all from Europe.
To a solemn daily ritual.
At 11 o'clock every morning, a guard in ceremonial dress marches in front of the central altar, bows. He then turns one page in each of the books of remembrance.
Higher up, we saw Flagmaster Robert Labonte perform his duties and take us behind the Peace Tower's massive clock that cannot be wound backwards.
Every year when we fall back, when we stop the time for an hour, we'll come in the middle of the night, we'll stop it, and then that's when we do our big maintenance. We'll grease every moving part, we'll oil everything, we'll clean it all up.
Under the clock is the tower's 53 bells. It's where we found Dominion Caroliner Dr. Andrea McCready, providing the soundtrack for Centre Block.
I can play loud or soft depending on the control of the touch and the strike. I play barehanded. I don't wear any protection on my hands, but I do not play barefooted. I do wear very thin-soled, flexible jazz dance shoes.